So ano bang mga basic requirements? Certification from the concerned LGU that the construction and operation of the TSRO shall address the operation of bote-bote or legal retailing of dispensing of liquid fuels. So primary goal niya is to stop the operation of bote-bote. So TSRO shall not be less than 1 kilometer from an existing liquid fuels retail outlet and must be included in the certification of the LGU. No commercial establishment shall be established, installed, and construction within the RO. So stand-alone. So dapat ang main or yung function na lang talaga ng establishment is for the TSRO use only. Walang restaurant, walang ganon, walang milk tea. Another is the vehicle being serviced and the delivery of the tank truck shall be all times. So dapat nandun lang sa business premises niya or sa forecourt niya. So may setback tayo na 6 meters away from the yung reference point natin would be the roadways towards the dispenser, dapat 6 meters yun. So secondly is dapat yung mga vehicles na kinikater niya for dispensing are catered only on the forecourt or the retail outlet na business premises. And also the delivery of the vehicle, the tank truck must be catered only on the business premises. So dapat din yung tank truck natin is kung may emergency could easily get out of the retail outlet. So my 1 meter setback shall be maintained between cashier's booth and the dispenser to firewalls. So supply operation of the tank truck be at least 1 meter working distance between the tank truck and the firewall. So dapat accessible siya sa mga nagdi-deliver. The certificate of compliance by the DOE must be issued before commercially operated operation niya. So as well as the TSRO, the marine retail outlet also are not exempted from applying for a COC and compliance to other government requirements. So ito yung example ng certificate of compliance ng TSRO. So ma-distinguish mo yung LFRO at saka yung TSRO kasi may doon sa reference code niya specific yung nakalagay LFRO or TSRO. Same with the LFRO COC, indicated doon yung pangalan ng station, pangalan ng owner, brand, and the address of the station or the retail outlet. So indicated din yung date issued at saka yung expiry date niya. So documentary requirements for TSRO: notarized application form, accomplished notarized form of undertaking or affidavit of undertaking, distributor supplier certification or dealer's contract, list specification of dispensing pump, hoses, and storage tanks, scaled layout of the facilities, latest photo showing the full front, right, left side views including the price display board, informational signs, required stickers, labels for RON E10 and B2. Legal clearance of no pending case. So payment fee of 3,500. So same with the application form for the LFRO, dapat indicate natin lahat ng information dito sa space provided. Same with the affidavit of undertaking, dapat all information must be indicated on the blank space. So dito tayo. How long does it take to issue my certificate of compliance or COC? So it would just take 20 days. Provided kompleto yung documentary requirements mo na sinabit mo sa office, wala kang pending case from previous inspections, and have paid the COC and acknowledgement fees. So as you can see, yung pinakahuli is yung payment. Dapat kung sa ibang lugar ka or sa Bohol ka, dapat i-send mo yung deposit slip, then we will issue a OR at the office. Pero it doesn't mean na kung may OR ka na, pwede ka na makapag-operate. So dapat antayin natin yung issued na COC natin. So a certificate of compliance or COC by the DOE shall be issued before the commercial operations. It's clearly indicated dito. So kung resibo pa lang, hindi yan nag-i-entitled sa iyo na pwede ka na mag-operate. You're not entitled to operate kung wala ka COC. So, tapos na tayo sa first part. Dito na tayo sa second part. Compliance, monitoring, and inspection. So, may pakita ko yung previous inspection namin na ginawa doon sa Ormoc at saka yung focus inspection namin sa Samar. So, ito, makita mo yung quality inspection, monitoring, analysis ng chemist namin. So, ito yung kukuha kami ng sample. May quantity calibrating kami ginawa. So, quality sampling and testing. A 1 liter sample shall be taken directly from the dispensing pumps for product quality testing to ensure compliance with the quality standards. So, one of the secondary or purpose natin is to serve the consuming public and to provide the consuming public the right quality or the right quality of their product and the right quantity they are paying for. So ito yung sample ng amber bottle. So ilagyan namin dito ng produkto. So yung quality testing natin, madidetermine natin yung color, blue, red, green, depende sa produkto. So sa RON din, makakuha natin if talagang 97 or 95 or 91 ba yung RON rating mo as indicated on the label or sticker. Check din namin yung mga biofuels added sa fuel natin. So, ito yung photo ng mobile van, mobile laboratory van. Ito naman yung mga equipments doon sa ERTLS namin doon sa DOE main office at BGC Taguig. Dito tayo sa quantity testing which we often conduct during our inspection. The quantity of liquid fuels delivered by dispensing pumps at retail outlets as measured by the dispensing pump. So ang ginagamit natin is yung calibration bucket natin which is the capacity of 10 liters. So check natin is exact ba yung calibration ng dispenser nyo? So ito yung sample ng bucket natin. So may 4 tong major parts ng calibrating bucket. So ang parts dito are the seal, the adhesion plate, gauge glass or the glass tube, and the body of the calibrating bucket. So yung body contains the product na kinakalibrate natin. So gauge glass, dito makikita natin yung produkto. Lalabas ito, tapos i-indicated kung saan siya mag-fall on doon sa mga graduation natin. So seal, pinaka-importante sa calibration bucket. So dapat ito may selyo at saka updated. So the calibration bucket is required to be calibrated yearly from the date of the calibration. So dito sa makikita mo sa opposite side of the bucket, makikita mo yung blow up or magnified na graduation plate. So may makikita kang mga graduation. It is pegged at 0 to 100. So sa baba ng 0 means negative yung calibration niya. So sa taas, sa upper portion ng 0 indicates the positive calibration. So from 0 up, from 1 to 100 indicates na over delivery yung dispensing pump mo. Yung 0 naman is perfect calibration, which we aim ito dapat yung dapat na dinidispense ng dispenser niyo. So below naman 0, from negative 1 to negative 15 means within tolerable limits lang. So pasado pa. Below 51, negative 51 to negative 100, under delivery na. So may corresponding penalties na to. Calibration and sealing of dispensing pumps. As mentioned in the DC, dapat properly calibrated and sealed every 90 days. So every 3 months, quarterly. So dapat yung dispensing pump kinakalibrate natin. So it could be done in the presence of the city or the municipal treasurer's office or representative. Could be done also from the DOST ITDI, or it could also be done, the calibration could be done by the companies or dealer technician, provided that may presence doon yung city at saka municipal treasurer's office. So dapat ino-observe nila during calibration. So if yung calibration would yield na under delivery, hindi exact 0 or exact calibration, dapat i-recalibrate ito. So yung mga entities na binanggit ko dapat present during the recalibration of the dispenser. So, ito yung mga authorized entities as I have mentioned earlier, yung city at saka municipal treasurer, or the DOST, ITDI, or any contractor, third-party contractor, or oil company technician, provided na may presence ng city at saka municipal treasurer during the said calibration. Or they could get a certification from the city and municipal treasurer's office that they are permitted to conduct calibration and sealing of their dispenser. So dapat aim natin is set to 0 talaga yung dispenser. So hindi pwedeng ilagay natin negative 25, negative 50 kasi tolerable pa naman. So dapat yung calibration natin is set to 0. So dapat 0 yung dispenser natin dinidispense bago natin i-seal. So yung bucket naman is used for the checking of the calibration of the dispenser. So the bucket must be calibrated by DOST. So ito yung example ng digital type na dispenser. So dito makikita mo yung may knob dito yung ina-adjust yung calibration niya. So dapat may seal to as shown in this picture. Sa mechanical type na dispenser, ito yung pump, tapos yung calibration niya dito ginagawa sa calibration wheel. So dapat nakasilyo din ito. Consider you go counterclockwise or clockwise depending on the setting of the dispenser. So dito tayo sa common violation kasi during inspection, ito yung na-observe namin na palaging makikita namin ng mga violation. Non-posting of labels and stickers, yung B2, yung E10, yung RON ratings, as well as the product labels and safety informational signs and the price display board. So next is no COC and non-posting of COC, no calibration record, posting of the term unleaded and biodiesel, no seal or cut seal. So sine-check namin during inspection if yung dispenser mo, yung kung saan nag-a-adjust kayo ng calibration, kung meron bang seal ito off or whether your seal is intact. Make sure na yung dispenser mo may silyo. Kung wala, sabihan mo yung technician mo or yung sa LGU, contact ka ng LGU para masilyuhan siya properly. So dito tayo sa prohibited acts, administrative fines and sanctions. So madugo to kasi may fines na. So first picture. So engaging. So number 1, illegal trading, engaging in business without COC. So first offense, may penalty kayo ng 10,000. Second offense, may penalty kayo ng 10,000 pero included na yung recommendation namin to the LGU to cancel the revocation of their permit at saka yung COC mo. Kung may COC ka, or expired yung COC mo, hindi ka makapag-renew. Non-compliance with Section 11, Rule 3, mandatory standards and requirements. So, hindi ka nakapasa during sa mga fixed yung requirements natin, yung standards natin, may penalty kang 10,000. So, same with the first, yung engaging without the COC, may 10,000 plus the recommendation for revocation. So, second picture, non-submission or misrepresentation or misdeclaration of documentary documents as stipulated in Section C. So, meron din 10,000, same with the previous violation. The second is ganun din. So, pero meron kang COC pero hindi mo nito pinost. Meron first, may warning directive, warning to post within 30 days. Pero kung hindi ka makapag-post after 30 days, then a 10,000 pesos penalty shall be imposed. So, second offense, 10,000 with directive to comply. So, sa pangatlo, 10,000 plus revocation. So, another one is non-compliance with Section 22, Rule 5 on posting requirements. Yung mga E10 labels natin, wrong RON, walang RON, posting of term unleaded and biodiesel. So, posting of updated prices in price display board for each liquid fuels. So, meron siyang warning or directive to post within 30 days. If hindi mo nagawa, may penalty ka ng 10,000. So, until third offense, 10,000 plus revocation. So, non-issuance of official receipt after every sale of liquid fuels. So, malaki yung penalty niya, 50,000. Next offense would be 100,000. The third offense would be 200,000. May closure order na rin. Failure to maintain calibrated and sealed dispensing pump. So, may offense yan na 10,000 first offense. Second offense is the 10,000 plus revocation of COC. So, whether yung seal, wala kang seal, or broken lang, or cut seal lang, same yung penalty niya. So, importante din yung written record. Yung dapat yung test measure ni mo is calibrated. Adulteration. So, yung adulteration, the possession and sale of liquid fuels that do not conform with the quality standard pursuant to the PNS and biofuels law. So, kung hindi ka hindi mo na-follow to, nagbibenta ka ng adulterated na fuels, sa first offense pa lang, 200,000 pesos na with cease and desist order. The second offense, meron kang 300,000 plus revocation and closure order. So dito tayo sa under delivery. So may 10,000 pesos per dispensing pump. So, kung may 4 ka times 4, kung lahat ng 4 na pumps mo are under delivery, 10,000 times 4, 40 na. So may 40 ka na penalty. So second offense with revocation of the COC and recommendation to revoke your LGU permits. Refusal of inspection and sampling. So may penalty na 50,000 with the presumption that there is a sale of adulterated products. Second offense, 100,000 with cease and desist order. So last, yung third offense mo is the issuance of closure order, revocation of COC, and the revocation of the LGU permits. So that would be my presentation, but I'd like to impart 2 things. I'd like to stress on 2 things. Yung application ng COC, dapat all participants should apply for the issuance of COC. Second is on safety. So yung safety natin dapat would start on the planning stage. So the design of the station should conform with the standard. Then the implementation or the construction stage, dapat lahat na indicated doon sa plano, together with the right distances and measurement of the facilities and the specification of the material used for the construction, dapat sinusunod natin to ensure safety. Lastly, during the operation of the station natin, so dapat aware yung employees mo with regards to the hazards attached to the product you're selling or retailing. Dapat aware yun. Dapat properly train yung mga employees mo, especially those that are directly handling the dispensing operation of your retail outlet. And they must be taught on how to deal with during emergency. So may basic knowledge lang in emergency response. So that's it. Hopefully I've imparted a little of my knowledge to all of the participants. So I'll be turnovering you to our host, Miss Engineer Istia.
Thank you very much, Engineer Jola, for that informative presentation. I hope everyone learned something, especially to our new stakeholders. Before we start the open forum, we would like to request everyone to please turn on your camera for a picture taking. Thank you. Yeah.
Ikon kabalo. Okay.